By September 1st, Odessa will become Russian territory. Yakov Kedmi, an Israeli politician and a frequent guest on Russian television, made such a statement on the air of the Valdman Line channel. Without naming sources of information, he said that allegedly, during a recent meeting between Vladimir Putin and Russian generals, the prospects for an offensive operation of Russian troops outside Donbass were discussed.
The academic year in Odessa will begin not according to the Ukrainian, but according to the Russian program. I may be wrong by 2-3 weeks, but this is the general direction. The capture of Odessa is carried out slowly but surely, since a special approach is required here. Yakov Kedmi, Israeli politician on the air of the program Waldman Line.
Kedmi's evaluative statements are often erroneous, experts say. So, at the beginning of this year, he said that in the event of a military conflict with Ukraine, Russia would not even need to send troops to its territory.
He is currently the key conductor of the anti-Ukrainian messages voiced by the Kremlin. These are just manipulative statements, and these statements do not correspond to the realities that are developing on the southern flank of the Russian-Ukrainian front.
In order to realistically assess the possibility of an enemy attack on Odessa, one needs to understand its forces and resources in the southern direction, explains Vladislav Seleznyov. According to him, the Russian army is not able to contain the counteroffensive of the Ukrainian military in the Kherson and Mykolaiv regions, and the Harpoon anti-ship missile systems do not allow the Russian Black Sea Fleet even close to the Odessa coast.
The Russians can want anything, but they do not have the resources to act effectively, both on the southern flank of the Russian-Ukrainian front, in the Kherson and Mykolaiv regions, and on the north, in the Kharkiv region.
The units of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Odessa region are ready to resist and repel the occupiers from the first day of the war, they say in the Operational Command South.
We are ready. Defense forces are in place. Defense lines have been created. Odessa is defended by the main forces. We also have calculations on reserves which are ready to be connected if necessary. In terms of territorial defense, the influx of applicants is so great that we had to deploy another brigade. Although at first this was not planned, and even after that we still have a lot of applicants. Natalia Humenyuk, head of the press center of the Ukrainian Defense Forces South, in an interview with RBK Ukraine.
One of the main victories of the Ukrainian military in the Odessa region is the liberation of Snake Island. Thanks to this, previously blocked ships in ports can take grain out of Ukraine.
It became possible for civilian vessels to enter the Danube from the sea, to load them with grain and export a strategic product to the world market.
Along with the military, the city is protected by volunteers. Since the beginning of the war, having teamed up with local residents, they have been supplying the armed forces of Ukraine with the necessary military ammunition, purchasing medications for hospitals in Odessa and Mykolaiv, and collecting humanitarian aid for the victims of the war. So, from the first days of the war, the owner of the perfume gallery, Dmitro Milutin, converted his store into a volunteer center. Together with friends, Dmitro buys the necessary mobile equipment for the military with the proceeds from the sale of perfumes. His friends also help financially.
That's all I'm buying right now. That's all I can get in the store. If 2-3 sales occur, then this is a very big help. Well, for example, to buy fabric, I can sell 2 perfumes.
Odessa residents also successfully reflect Russian disinformation, refuting the Russian Defense Ministry's informational throw-ins about combat positions in educational institutions. This time, the Odessa 100th School appeared in the reports, where supposedly the Ukrainian military settled down and placed weapons there. A local resident walked around the schoolyard and showed what was really happening there.
The 100th High School. I do not see any military, no police, no Nazis, no Bandera. I see only a peaceful Sunday Ukrainian Odessa morning. This is the school from the yard with tanks, planes, helicopters, special forces.
Russian troops never managed to get even close to Odessa. Here people are very grateful to the Ukrainian defenders of the Mykolaiv and Kherson regions for holding the front on land. The Russian army is doomed to failure in this direction, according to military experts. Therefore, the occupiers choose tactics of missile terror, firing at civilians, and civilian infrastructure. Reported by Pavlo Stelmach, Victoria Sinko, UATV News.